Johns to 500 to get yourself a free 30-day trial of Audible and snag yourself a free audiobook. More on that in a bit, but for now, let's Ready Player One. Ready Player One. Funny, I was a younger brother, so I was always player two. When you're the younger brother, you get screwed with Luigi. You just have to play as Luigi, is the way it is. So Ready Player One is a movie directed by Steven Spielberg. It's based off of a book that blew up. A lot of people got this book. And people like me who got it for free and Loot Crate still haven't read it. In Ready Player One, there is this virtual online world that the entire populace is enthralled with called the Oasis. That's Oasis, not Beyond Oasis. That's a deep cut. VR MMO with monetary value. The creator, played by Mark Rylance, has died. He left an Easter egg in this virtual world, and whoever finds this Easter egg will become the sole proprietor, the owner of the Oasis. And now everyone's looking for it. That's right, taking over or owning the actual world, that motivation died with Pinky and the Brain. But being the owner of a virtual world that's more beloved than this shitty actual world, we can all get behind that. Now we have ourselves a pretty sweet adventure. I was really enthralled with this movie, not only because of the nostalgia throwbacks, which they're in here. Nostalgia is a big thing right now. You see nostalgic throwbacks in a lot of entertainment. This movie, more than most, you do get why it's there. It's not just a throwback, it's a mechanic. Or it's a throwback that's just a throwback that's painted like a mechanic. But I found myself enthralled with our team of heroes. Ever since the online world became a thing, people have been hiding their identities. It's an opportunity to be someone different, be something different. It's the way it was back then, it's the way it is now, it's the way it will be in the future. But the reason this hits all the right notes is also the villain. Ben Mendelsohn is just great at playing a corporate dick villain. He is, in fact, such a corporate dick, parasitic villain of the video game world. And the only unbelievable thing is that though there is an E in his name, there is no A. But it's that corporate disconnect. This guy and his company, they don't play games. They're there for the value of it. They're there for all the wrong reasons, whereas the youth are there for the right reasons. It's a real stick it to the man message. Oh shit, I'm just stick it to the man. I'm dressed like this. See, though this movie does have throwbacks, it's a celebration of the past. It's also a celebration of a future possibly to come. I can totally see a virtual world like this happening. Social media is a thing. VR gaming is a thing. Cryptocurrency is a thing. When their powers combine, they will become Captain Planet or, you know, a virtual world. And we shall all disappear to experience something we have never experienced in our lives, to experience for the first time actual safe sex. Remember when we were all like, Bitcoin? What's that? Oh, it's a really valuable thing we probably all should have gotten in on early. There is value in a virtual currency. It's real. And this movie illustrates that very effectively. And the last act of this movie, it hit me. I need to see this movie like 7 more times. I need my head on a swivel, man, just to get all the references. There was one reference in particular I was like, I thought I was the only one. That awesome, because that's a sweet weapon. We all know it. Never expected to see that reference in here, but I did. But one thing that I can see being a gripe is that when they're in the game world, it's great. When they're out of the game world, you're like, can we get back into the game world, you know, when things are interesting and cool? Storytelling wise, I do feel like it works. The game world is supposed to be more interesting than the actual world in this movie. If they were on par with each other, if they were as interesting, or the real world was slightly more interesting, you'd be like, why do people escape to this video game world? The fact that the video game world is so much more interesting than the real world, you get it. You're like, oh, okay, I get why people escape into this thing. I don't actually need the plot to tell me why. I see why. The biggest negative in this movie, there's someone in this movie that I actually said in my head, I was like, how did she get this role? She's not a major character, she's a minor character, but how? Why? Was she, did some producer go, hey, Spielberg, you have to use her? I feel like Spielberg would be above that, but maybe not. Guys, in the end, this movie hit me. I didn't like it, I loved it. This is a fantastic Steven Spielberg adventure that brings Spielberg back to making movies that just bring out the inner child in all of us. A fantastic adventure that appeals to kids and appeals to adults. The reason I started loving Spielberg in the first place. If you're a young movie fan or video gamer, you'll get it. If you are an older movie fan, possibly an older video gamer, you will get it. This movie is the great unifier, very effectively so. Ready Player One is definitely worth watching and definitely worth buying on Blu-ray. Fun nostalgia bomb and a great adventure. Go see it. And remember too, that's right, sponsorship! This video is sponsored by Audible, home to the largest audiobook library in the known universe. Follow the link below to audible.com/Johns or text Johns to 500 to get yourself a 30-day free trial of Audible and your free audiobook. That's right, most sponsorships give you one thing. I give you two. Audiobook recommendation? Simple. I Love Me the Science. Astrophysics for People in a Hurry by Neil deGrasse Tyson. Because In a Hurry and Audible seems to work for me. Going to work, the long drives, the clogged freeways. That's where Audible comes into play for me. So if you can get your science on in the meantime, I'm gonna count that as another cool thing I gave you. That makes 3. So click on the link below to audible.com/Johns or text Johns to 500 and science the shit out of your life. All right, so Ready Player One, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Whatever you thought, comment below, let me know. Or this is an actual question. If I started a Twitch Twitch channel and a Twitch stream, would you watch it? This is data. This is me accruing data here. Need to know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.